got starlight, I've got sweet dreams. I got my girl, who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? No second takes on this. I had a Janet Jackson clothing malfunction here with a tuba. Yeah, I know, when her clothing fell apart, my tuba fell apart, but that's okay. It's trying to tell me something. It's telling me we are here at Birdland on Tuesday, 5:30. We're broadcasting on Radio Free Birdland on the internet. If you're out there watching, hello. If you're at the club, applaud, and because we love you. We're the Nighthawks, music of the 1920s and 30s, and I'm your host for this evening. I'm Stephen Colbert. No, I'm Vince Giordano. Sorry, well, I got fired. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Anyway, of course, that was I Got Rhythm by the great George and Ira Gershwin from Girl Crazy. Back in 1930, that was the old Vincent Lopez arrangement that was used. We had some nice open spots there for Sam Chess on the trombone. Yay! And John Kelso back there on the hot trumpet. We opened up with a little fanfare before my tuba fell apart that was written by the great Jimmy McHugh, the guy who brought you Sunny Side of the Street and I Can't Give You Anything But Love Baby and a zillion other things. And we needed a timpani for the fanfare, and the Universal Pictures fanfare is called. So we just happen to have a wonderful man who brings his timpani to every gig. He even brings it to when he goes out to golf. He's one of the few guys golfing with a timpani, and it's all right. It's okay. It's a stage he's going through. But that's Paul Wells. Paul Wells. There you go. Okay. Well, here we are. We're going to keep it a little sprightly and play a song right now that was recorded by the great Horace Henderson, Fletcher Henderson. They both got together. They were brothers and worked for each other. A tune that was made famous earlier in 1930 by Paul Whiteman, recorded by Paul Whiteman. It was called Happy Feet from a film called The King of Jazz. Milton Ager and Jack Yellen. We're going to add a little vocal chorus on the Happy Feet, and we're going to have Peter Yarn at the top. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's Peter Yarn. Happy feet, I've got those happy feet. Give them a low down beat and they begin dancing. I've got those, them little tapping toes. When I hear a tune, I can't control my dancing heels to save my soul. Weary blues can't get into my shoes, cause my shoes refuse to ever go weary. I keep cheerful on an ear full of music sweet. got those happy feet. Joe Boga. Rather on the brisk side there, but that's how we do it once in a while. And we had some nice piano work from Peter Yaron and Dan Pearson on the tenor sax. Yeah, Joe Boga playing some hot trumpet, and Sam Chess. I think that was everybody there. Kind of hard to remember. Everything was going by so fast. You know about the old story about the. Well, I shouldn't go into that. I've had enough bad things happen here tonight. But anyway, well, I'll tell it in it. No, I'm not going to tell it. There we go. It's an old dopey story. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. Okay. Boy, I'm going to get a lot of razz from the people on the internet. Well, it was this great traffic accident between Mr. Snail and. No, forget, I'm not going to do it. We're going to play a song right now that Louis Armstrong did. Thank you. With his Savoy Ballroom 5. He only had 5 guys on it, but we decided to take the Don Redman stock arrangement. He made a stock arrangement for Melrose and put a lot of the elements of that into this, the smaller band. And fantastic record. With Don Redman playing the alto and the great Zooty Singleton back there playing some great percussion and Earl Father Hines and then we got of course Louis Armstrong. So here is Joe Boga to tell you all about it. It's called Boku Jack, which means you're doing pretty good with the money. 1, 2, 1, 2. Jack, and it was Joe Boga there playing that wonderful trumpet solo. Peter Yaron doing that Earl Father Hines. That was beautiful. And let's see who else. Oh, we had a great alto sax solo. And I like to share the microphone with these wonderful musicians because not only are they great musicians, they're great guys, and they do some remarkable things when they're Nighthawks. And they may even make some more money too, whatever. But it's a little thing that we like to call the Nighthawk Home Shopping Network, as you see sometimes on TV. Someday we'll get our own show. I mean, this is a pretty good show here. We're reaching at least 35 or 36 people so far on the internet. But we're going to bring them up for you right now. They got to play that beautiful alto sax solo. Will Anderson.
So, there was a traffic accident with Mr. Snail. No.
Do you know the rest of the joke?
I don't.
No, that's good.
That's all I know. Anyway, I wanted to quickly let you know that I will be upstairs with my own group every Saturday in August, and the show's called Will Anderson and Friends. I use that last word very loosely, but we will have Sam Chess with me one week, as well as Joe Bogue another week, so check me out upstairs at the Birdland main upstairs space every Saturday in August. I also wanted to mention that I have a product for sale. Now, this product, it's not a CD or an LP, because extremely capital, it's very expensive with a very small profit margin, and it's something called a book. It's called Songbook Summit, 15 Pioneers of American Sound, and it chronicles the life stories of our great American songwriters like Gershwin, Porter, Berlin, and Ellington, Armstrong, many of the great jazz musicians. So check this out. It's available at the cart, and I hope, if you check me out upstairs, just know that I lead my own ensemble, because with this group, I never know when I'm going to get fired.
Well, you steal some more of my jokes. Anyway, Will Anderson, you're going to fire yourself. Anyway, we're going to play an Irving Berlin song for you right now. Irving Berlin, who wrote so many wonderful tunes, patriotic songs, sad songs, funny songs, dramatic songs, you name it, he did it. Broadway, film, and in the late 1920s, he went out to Hollywood. He had a nice little hit here in Astoria with the Coconuts. That was Marx Brothers, and then he decided to get out there to Hollywood because that's where it was happening. And he got together with a bunch of different stars and stuff, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., for a film called Reaching for the Moon. And at that time, most of the films that were musicals started getting cut. They cut the musical numbers out. People said the film industry felt the people's choices were changing. Anyway, here's one that survived, and it's called the film is called Reaching for the Moon. Bing Crosby makes a great appearance right in the middle of it, and it's called When the Folks High Up Do the Mean Low Down. It's sort of putting on the Ritz sideways. 1, 2, 1, 2. Lenox Avenue is known for doing that low down, but you'll find you're not alone for doing that low down. Fifth Avenue is learning how they have to fall. Fifth Avenue does it now, and that's not all. Whenever the folks high up to that mean low down. There's no low down lower than that. Whenever the swells slow down and come low down, there's no low down lower than that. You may believe it or not, when they start getting hot, there is no Hottentot that's hotter than that. So you can lay your dough down when you go down, 'cause there's no low down lower than that. Some interesting sounds there in that last number. And Sam Chess, did you bring another trombone?
No.
No? Well, how'd you get that crazy sound?
You're talking about the megaphone.
Oh, the megaphone.
Yes, the megaphone.
Wow. Could you explain it, as Ricky Ricardo would say? Could you explain it?
Anything for you.
Okay. Wow, that's great. How does he do that? What happens if you don't use the megaphone? What do you got?
Just like this.
Ooh. Okay, keep the megaphone in. And then we had some interesting sounds in the reed section. These three very interesting instruments called soprano saxophones. Yeah, there they are. And not too many people, think about the soprano saxophone these days without thinking of Kenny G. And Kenny G used to come and sit in with us when we used to work at the Red Blazer too. He was real young and hardly anybody knew him, but it was great. And he doesn't come around anymore. He's too big and famous, and we're happy for him. But anyway, to keep his kind of memory alive, I've nicknamed these three reed guys Kenny X, Y, and Z. Kenny X, Y, and Z. So maybe Kenny will come by and we'll complete the alphabet or something. We'll give everybody a letter or something and see what happens. Okay. Nice. Okay. What do we got? Okay, let's, we had a request to do something from Benny Moten's orchestra, and we're going to do that right now. It's called the Bandbox Shuffle. This was co-written by Benny Moten and Count Basie back in 1929. This was a really hot band that out of Kansas City, with people like Hot Lips Page and Eddie Bearfield, Eddie Durham, who wrote great trombone parts and arrangements, and of course Count Basie was in there too. So here it is, the Bandbox Shuffle. 1, 2, 1, 2. Dig that crazy ending there. Woo! The bandbox shuffle. And had a little guitar solo by Devin Cortan. Thank you. Beautiful, man. John Kelso on the trumpet. And let's see, more Will Anderson. And I think that was it. We're going to play a song right now that we play at every show because we love to talk about and hear the great Louis Armstrong. And I always do this little plug here too, because I hope that some of you might venture out to Queens and go to the Louis Armstrong House Museum. Has anyone been out there? All right, that's a good start, and it's a really fantastic experience. You see where Louis lived and a lot of his artifacts, and you just come out of there feeling fantastic, like you've met Louis Armstrong, because they have old tapes of him. Of course, they've been processed now with little, I don't know what they call them, they modernized them a little bit, so you're not listening to his original tapes, but he's talking and having a great time, and both our trumpet players have gone out there, and they were allowed to blow some great notes on Louis Armstrong's golden horn. So here's a tune written by Louis's mentor, his teacher, his musical father, a guy named Joe Oliver, a very important guy in Louis Armstrong's life, which I won't, you can read about it, and I usually explain. And Louis was always talking about Papa Joe and how great he was musically and what he did for him. So anyway, they got in the studio, and Louis and Father Hines and Zooey Singleton and a couple other great musicians, and they cut the West End Blues, and here it is for you right now. about those clarinets there? That's Peter Aaron doing Earl Father Heinz's solo. Give him a nice hand. Yeah. All right, John, what you got? All right. How about John Eric Kelso there? Man, what a great tribute to Lewis. John, why don't you grab the microphone and do your bit for the Nighthawk Home Shopping Network?
Sure. So in addition to being here on Mondays and Tuesdays with the Nighthawks, I have a steady Sunday night gig. Been going on for 18 years now.
Wow.
And that's at a great old bar called the Ear Inn, which is on Spring Street on the far west side. And that place has been there for over 200 years. And and we call the band the Irregulars, of course. And we have a new Live at the Ear Inn CD. It just happens to be available back there at the cart. So please take a look when you get a chance. Thank you.
Okay, that's John Kelso. Great. Well, one of the things with the Nighthawks, you know, we take requests, but we don't play them. But sometimes we make a change. One of our listeners way over in jolly old England wanted to hear something done by a famous British dance band, a guy named Ambrose. His name was Bert Ambrose. And I always liked this piece of music. It was written for a very large ensemble with 3 trombones and 4 saxophones, 3 trumpets, so we kind of had to condense it a little bit. It was written and arranged by a fellow named Sid Phillips, a wonderful musician. And speaking of England, I'm told that Joe Boger, you're going to be going over to England this November? Yep. Could you tell the folks about that?
Thank you. Yes, I will be going over to the UK to Whitley Bay and performing at the Whitley Bay Jazz Festival. I'm very, very excited. It's my first trip over there, and it's all music of the 1920s and 30s. So if you happen to be in Whitley Bay, please stop by and check it out. Thank you.
I always go by there, you know, on my way home. All right, here's the tune. We're handing it out right now because you asked for it, and it's called The Night Ride from 1936. Here's some saxophone parts. Oh, we got Joe in there. And let's see here. We're gonna pass the song out to the. All right, not bad. You can't get good paper anymore, I'm telling you. The Night Ride, and this is a very interesting composition. Sid Phillips was a wonderful musician. All right, has everyone got their part?
Yes.
Are you ready?
No.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. What's going on here?
Good.
That's it. Okay.
What are all these black dots?
Well, they're fun. It's called Fun with Music. Fun with Music. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ride from 1936. Whoa. Oh, I got scared there a little bit when you got those timpani rolls there. Man, it's terrifying. It's okay. When are we going to play that one again, Peter?
In 2091.
2091. We're going to play it again. Here it is. Bring it back. So bring it over to England. See if they remember it. But you got to have a timpani over there. I don't know if you got to have Paul to. Bring him along. That's right. Okay. Well, I think it's time to put our arrangements away for a second and play some traditional jazz. And here's John Kelso to pick something out that's a little different, without a timpani.
Nobody's sweetheart.
Nobody's Sweetheart now. Okay. It's a good one from about 1923-24. A bunch of guys in Chicago latched onto this tune, and then it just went like wildfire. And I'm going to play it for you. F2, 1, 2. That's Andy Stein. Sweetheart Now. Good old good one. Will Anderson there on the clarinet, and John Kelso on the trumpet, and Sam Chess, which you know already. And great to have a real full 32-bar banjo solo by Devin Cortan. He's the newest member of the Nighthawks. Yeah. Nice. And of course, our wonderful pianist who likes to delve into the classical sounds of the celeste or the celesta. That's Peter Yaron. Peter Yaron. Sometimes he likes to play a little excerpt. Ooh. There you go. All right. Little nutcracker. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. And then I guess it was my turn. I was doing my typical trad jazz struggle on this thing here called the bass saxophone, and I appreciate the one person that applauded. It was nice. It was great. That was it. That was it. And we always say with the Nighthawks, you know, the more you drink, the better it sounds, and the more I drink, the better I think it sounds. Yes. How sweet it is. There you go. Next, we had this wonderful drum solo. A fella that does a lot of great work with us here. When he's not here, he's on the road with Curtis Stigers. That's right. That's where he was last night. And that's Paul Wells. Paul Wells back there on the drums. Yeah, man. And our last person in this segment is a fella that you've heard for years on the Garrison Keillor show. He's recorded with Bob Dylan, Sir Paul McCartney, Sleep at the Wheel, playing his violin or playing his saxophone, either tenor or baritone. Doesn't care, he likes them all. But with us, he plays the crazy phonal fiddle or the Stroh violin. That's Andy Stein. Stroh. Right. Let's see now. What I was going to say here. Oh, I know what I was going to say. We always talk about our wonderful friends here at the Syncopated Times. And you folks out there in Radio Land, you can go online and check this great magazine out, because it talks about people playing this older style of jazz, you know, syncopated jazz. He also talks about ragtime. I mean, ragtime was very important on jazz, you know, freeing up the syncopation. Of course, the blues got in there too. I mean, I can go on and on. It's better to read it here. But we have a little ad that sort of looks like this. Birdland every Monday and Tuesday, and of course, we do our broadcast. And I'd like to meet every single one of you folks and thank you for coming to Birdland and give you one of these cards, because I know when you go home, you're going to have some crumbs on the table. And these cards are just great for scraping the crumbs off the table. And you can look at them, you know, like, okay. Hey, how come the trombone guy looks different in this picture? But anyway, you know, whatever, you know, or something. But you can do all that stuff. But one of the most important things you could do with this card is use it as a bookmark. And you have to use it as a bookmark because you're going to buy Will Anderson's book. There you go. So let's see. Let's see if we get the card in the book. Ah, we did it. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wait a minute. 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 What's, oh, this is getting serious. Oh no. Hanging out there. There you go. Will Anderson. Everybody's getting in the act. He's going to be doing a magic book next season. Yeah. Pick a card, any card. Which one is it? Must be the Nighthawks. All right. Well, you know, preservation is very important, and keeping good, wonderful things happening in the music world, whether it's classical music or vocal music or, you know, jazz. And, you know, I think there's room for everybody, you know, for whatever we like to do. We have our idea of repertory orchestra, and we're so lucky to have you folks out here listening, and we have a wonderful man in the audience here who has been devoting his young life to being on WKCR radio and setting up these wonderful listening jam sessions with a lot of vintage recordings, everything from ragtime styled music to early bebop. And is with us tonight, and it's Mr. Matt Rivera. Matt Rivera's with us tonight. Give him a nice hand. He has this thing called the Hot Club, and I like that. Yeah, if it's hot, we're gonna play it. So today he did a show on his radio show regarding a wonderful man named Alex Hill. Alex Hill was not only a wonderful pianist, but he was a composer. He did some work with Fats Waller, and then of course he composed some great tunes on his own. And originally this tune came out by a band called Jimmy Wade. It was called the Mississippi Wobble. Mississippi Wobble. Okay. And it was a pretty nice tune. And I don't know how this happened, but the tune got to the West Coast with Paul Howard's wonderful quality serenades with Lawrence Brown on the trombone and Lionel Hampton on the drums. And all of a sudden the tune became the Quality Shout. So I guess it was okay, but as long as the royalty checks came in, and his Quality Shout, which we recorded on our CD called Quality Shout. Okay, Alex Hill, the composer. 1, 2, 1, go. Yay! The Quality Shout by Alex Hill. All right. Well, the name of the band was the Paul Howard Quality Serenaders, so probably I said, hey, do you mind if we change the song title? No, I don't know. Maybe and maybe not. I don't know. Got to find the time machine and go back there. All right. Let's see here. We're doing pretty good. Let's change the pace here a little bit and play a sort of an adapted arrangement. This is not the original arrangement that Benny Goodman used in 1933. We kind of adapted, and adopted too. We, if the truth be known, an arrangement that we found of a Harold Arlen, Ted Koehler tune, "As Long as I Live," and it's one of Benny's early big band recordings, and of course Harold Arlen, one of my favorite composers. So here it is, and I think, trying to think who we had on. I think he might have had Coleman Hawkins on the date, and Teddy Wilson. So he couldn't get any good guys. I'm just kidding. And I think we're going to have Dan Pearson there in the clarinet chair. Is that true, or is it? It was another guy. I forget. We haven't played this one in so long. Oh, it's Will. Okay, forget what I say. 1, 2, 1, 2. As long as I live. Oh, baby, as long as I live. Oh, baby, as long as I live. apologize to both you and Ted Kohler, who wrote the words for that, because I just had one of those, as you know, brain something, and that's why I did not sing the vocal on that. That was meant for a foreign pressing, so they didn't have the vocal on it. Whatever. All right, just another crazy day here at Birdland. So let me fix that right now. I'm gonna fix that right now. Keep drinking, folks. All right. Now, what do we got? Usually I ask if anyone's got a request out there. The Charleston, okay. Request time is over. So Stein, what's the number? We're gonna play your arrangement.
Number seven.
Number 7 in the book. Okay, here it is. All right. This is a tune written by the great James P. Johnson, Harlem Stride pianist, influential man for so many people, like Fats Waller. I was basically a student, and even Duke Ellington was really under the spell of the great James P. Johnson. He heard the recording of Carolina Shouted, and it wasn't published yet. But he made a piano roll, and Duke bought the piano roll of the Carolina Shout, slowed it down, and played it that way. Anyway, he also wrote "If I Could Be With You 1 Hour Tonight." But there's a recording that the California Ramblers made on Edison back in 1925, and here it is. It's the Charleston. Andy Stein took it off the record. 1, 2, 1, 2. wanted? We don't know it. We don't know it. Okay. That's the Charleston. All right. James P. Johnson. All right. Let's pick things up here. Play a pop tune from 1933, written by the great Harry Warren. Harry Warren wrote some fantastic music from the 20s up to the 60s, and got associated with the Warner Brothers even before the Warner Brothers took over his job. He worked for the Vitagraph Company in Brooklyn, one block from where I live, and working in silent pictures. He was a silent piano player, a piano player for silent pictures. How could you be a silent player if you, well, Peter, you could do a couple of solos by not playing. You'd be a silent player. Anyway, the tune is called 42nd Street, and here it is. 269X. Wow. Yes. 42nd Street. What do you got? It's a 269X.
It says temp.
It's not an X?
It'll be fun.
Okay, I see X's. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now come and meet those dancing feet. On the avenue I'm taking you to 42nd Street. Hear the beat of dancing feet. It's a song I love, that melody of 42nd Street. Little nifties from the 50s who are feeling sweet. Sexy ladies from the 80s who are indiscreet. They're side by side, they're glorified. Where the underworld can meet the elite, 42nd Street. That's 42nd Street. Wow. Well, I'm sorry to say we're just about out of time. And we had a great time playing for you folks, and thanks so much for supporting Birdland. It's a great institution. Been here 75 years, and we're very humbled to be part of this great history. And take a little brochure that's on your table, and come back and see us. And all you folks out there, if you like what you heard tonight, please feel free to say something, on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Write a review on Yelp, Even if you like, the best part is when Vince's tuba bell came off and hit him in the head. It's all the experience. It's part of the experience. This is like live TV here, live TV, and anyway. So what are we gonna close off with here? We don't have a fast number, do we? You want to do Jersey Lightning? All right, the guys want to hear Jersey Lightning, a Louis Russell song. What's the number? This is more live TV, folks. Yay! Hey, hey, hey. It's almost here. Okay, a little last minute change here to the program. Just mark your programs. This is by Louis Russell, wonderful band leader who had people like Henry Red Allen and J.C. Higginbottom, Pops Foster, of course. He was at the piano, Louis Russell was, and he has a wonderful daughter that's still performing and just magnificent, Catherine Russell. Anyway, here it is, Jersey Lightning. Don't try this at home. 1, 2, 1,
5:30 and 8:30. So if you can make it back, please tell a friend. Coming up in the upper level, we have Bill Charlap and Reedy Rosnes doing a double piano show. If you'd like to stay with us, please inform your server. There's no additional music charge, however, a minimum does apply. If you'd like to take the music home with you, the Nighthawks do have CDs and books and LPs available at the cart. For those of you leaving, on behalf of all of us here at Birdland, we want to thank you for supporting live music and arrive home safely.